it, I don't be talking, I air it out. All the problems have gotten easy to bury. I'd rather kiss on my. I've been broke way longer than I've been rich, so until it levels out, I'ma take mama to the Marriott and took me so long to get it, gonna spread it out. Let them know all about me when I'm dead and gone. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the hand, one in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. I'ma need all the fries you can give me, all the hot sauce, all the pie you can give me. Better be all in nothing, don't have me in the middle. You better be all you can.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. Two one-loss teams set to lace it up. This ought to be fun, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Throwing on first down. Stafford. And he will find his man on the outside. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That one goes for 24 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
To throw on second down is Stafford. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is started.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down. From the gun, Stafford over the middle. That's caught by Hogan. And they keep those sticks moving forward, that time with a gain of 3. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it. They love it because now everyone gets locked in. The confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. On 2nd and 10, Stafford. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Everson Griffin in there to sack him for a loss of 6. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Operating from the gun, Stafford. This one complete to Theo Riddick. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area. But they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
So the first points of the night belong to our home team as they're able to take the opening kickoff and at least get 3 points out of it.
Yeah, and that helps the crowd, right? It helps people feel good about why they're there watching this game. They move the ball well on their opening drive.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard to go for the 1st. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the 1st. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Play action, Cousins. And his throw here is incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And now he bowls him over. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 1 yard. The official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. On 3rd down, Cousins. And incomplete here on 3rd down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see? Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out. And forces 4th down. Oh, eluding the tackle. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown. I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. From the gun, here's Stafford. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays. Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Stafford. Hard throw, incomplete. Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation. This is taken around the 12. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts. They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy? Off the play fake, Cousins. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. Give him 9 there on the 1st down. completion.
9-yard gain on the play.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Cousins now to throw on 1st down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Cousins from the gun on 3rd. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down, Cook. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and turn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Oh, how about this call down near the goal line? And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll try to throw now. Cousins. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. That's their 2nd, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this 2nd quarter. We'll be right back. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. To throw, Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
The kick by Tavecchio is good, and that will tie us at 3-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and get something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. To play in a tightly contested first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this.
180. 21.
Stafford on first down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And now running right through it. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Mackenzie Alexander in on the tackle.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable third down, because they had the incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
The Lions on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man and having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
23 yards on the play. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. They'll run for it with Cook. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there as the first half is winding down. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. Tavecchio good on the extra point. And the lead is now 10-3. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here come the Lions now. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. The final shot before the break, Stafford. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we hit halftime with our visit. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Cousins now on second down. Left side caught by Diggs. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. The Vikings first down. Diggs able to find his way free and get the catch from Cousins. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Cousins. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Finding some room at midfield. And finally marked down at the 42-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Leave it, 48.
A give. This is Cook. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop it. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed them for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 right at the 30. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. The throw left side, complete to Hogan. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. No gain on the play there. Second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On second down, here's Stafford. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Throwing on third down, Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. A big third down conversion with a gain of 28. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Here's Stafford now on second down. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Here's Cousins. It's complete to Diggs. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48. After the interception, here's Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And this belongs to the Vikings. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a two-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. Two-hand. Oh, I get it. Two-hand monster. Both hands on the football. Taking care of it. Putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
And a short gain down to about the 33. The tackle made there by Jarrad Davis. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
This goes to the goal line. You got to be very careful with the offense called rub routes. When I call a pick trying to screen you off from your coverage, does a nice job of avoiding that and helping force an incompletion.
And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
7 yards on the return after a punt of 39. Yeah. The Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 11. From the gun, Stafford. And right side, caught, Hogan. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. Stafford now to throw. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Danielle Hunter, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
Set, lady.
Operating from the gun, Stafford. Throw left side complete. That's Campbell. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Back to throw, Stafford. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Danielle Hunter in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And no, it's incomplete. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. And a failure on 4th down on the other side leads immediately to a 1st and goal. They go play action. Cousins. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
On the comebacker, complete. It's Campbell. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw on 2nd down to Stafford. He's going to sling this deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
To throw on 3rd down. Stafford. And he will find his man. That's Hogan, complete. That'll give him 60 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down. On 1st down, it's Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. But I believe the Lion was there to recover it. Yes, they will indeed keep possession. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Now Riddick. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Give him 5 yards on the run there, but it'll leave him with a definite 3rd and long on the horizon. Out of the gun, Stafford. And he's going to find Hogan here, complete. So a good spin move there before he's taken down. A nice little gain. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Here we go. 59 Mike. Check, 59. Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback, D-line. D-line, get that quarterback. 49, check 49, check 49.
They run it again with Cook. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
Now a run with Cook. Trying to get out wide, but he's going to be tackled right near the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Throwing here, Cousins. And a little floater there is incomplete. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Vikings, they did what they needed to do. They split their first two road games of the year. And now they'll get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for Detroit, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.